morning, Star family and friends. Today we're going to do another segment in Cooking with the Stars, and this time I'm going to be making beef liver smothered in onions and gravy. In addition to the beef liver, as a dinner, you might want to have, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have mashed potatoes and spinach. You can have broccoli, corn, whatever you want with it. And as always, I've sanitized everything. I'm wearing my gloves, and let's get started. First, I'm going to start with the liver. The liver, I have beef liver, but I've already rinsed it, took all the waste, I cleaned it off, and all I have to do is season it now. In addition, I have the pan that's got peanut oil on it, and I prefer peanut oil because it doesn't leave the oil on the beef liver. So we use peanut oil, and we're going to drain that oil, and we're going to redo the liver in that pan. In addition, I'm going to show you what I have here. These are the onions. This is the onions that I'm going to be using. I use half an onion for my liver, and that's about four to five slices of liver that I'm doing today. In addition to what I'm using seasoning salt, tenderizer, black pepper, lemon pepper, accent, and garlic salt. It's a half a teaspoon of each I use for preparing this particular liver. And I combine all of that in a dispenser. I have an empty dispenser, and I get all of them. I have a teaspoon of each one, and I put it in the dispenser. This way I don't have to use all of them. I already have it mixed. I just shake it up, and it's ready to go on to liver. I'm getting ready to put it in the flour, and I'm mixing it around now so I can have it go into the grease. Remember, I said I use peanut oil for this particular one because I want to get as much grease from the liver off of it as possible, because when I get ready to do the gravy, it's important that there's no grease or little grease as possible in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the liver pieces in here and fry them, and it only takes a couple of minutes to fry these in and out, because and by that time they'll be cooked and ready to go. And I'm going to use the same pan to make my gravy, and I'm going to use the same flour to make my gravy. I take the onions that I put to the side, and I put the onions on the bottom, spread it out, okay, now I go ahead and I put the meat back in there, and keeping in mind it's already been seasoned, so the seasoning along with the onions and the flour is gonna have this baby. It's gonna be so tender you can cut it with your fork. You don't even need a knife. Now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the rest of the onions that I had. I told you I was gonna have more onions. This onions is gonna really top it off. That's why I didn't put no onion seasoning in here, because I knew I was using a lot of onions already. Okay, so that's my onions that I use. That's all I need. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep in mind, if you want to make depending on how thick you want your gravy. I usually use a couple of handful of flour that I put in there to make my gravy. And as you can see, if you do it with just a little bit of flour, you should be okay. Now all I'm going to do, I'm going to put the temperature on this. I'm going to keep it low. I don't need it to be high. I want it to cook slowly. And while this is going, I'll go ahead and start the mashed potatoes and the spinach. And I'll get back to you shortly with the end result. As I said before, the gravy should be getting nice and thick. You can tell by the way the bubbles. And keep in mind, keep it on a low temperature when you're cooking it, because it's already been cooked and fried. So all you need to do now is let the gravy get a little bit thicker, and then you will see the difference in the meat tenderizing and what it has done to create a perfect liver smothered in onions and gravy. The other dishes that I made to go with the meat, liver, and smothered in gravy and onions is the spinach and the mashed potatoes. Okay, and I'll get back to you in a minute with the end result. Now, after preparing the food, this is the outcome of my liver smothered in onions with gravy, mashed potatoes, spinach, and applesauce, mango peach. So, with this being said, I will leave y'all for now because I have to say my prayers and get the chocolate. God bless, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.